So much for this, sir. Now shall you see the other? Do you remember all the circumstance?
Remember it, my lord.
Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed about me, in the dark groped I to find out them, had my desire. Fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room, making me so bold. My fears forgetting manners, to unseal their grand commission where I found Horatio. O royal knavery, an exact command, larded with many several sort of reasons, importing Denmark's health and in England's too, with hosts, such bugs and goblins in my life, that on the supervise, no leisure bated, no, not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Here's the commission. Read it at your leisure. But wilt thou hear me? How I did proceed?
I beseech you.
Being thus benetted round thy villainies, ere I could make a prologue to my brain, they had begun to play. I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair.
Aye, good my lord.
That on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatement further, more or less, he should the bearers put to sudden death.
How is this sealed?
Why, even in that was heaven ordinate. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of that Danish seal, folded the writ up in form of the other, subscribed it, gave the impression, placed it safely, then the changeling never known. Now, the next day was our sea flight, and what to this was sequent thou knowst already.
So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz got to it?
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience. Their defeat does by their own insinuation grow. 'Tis dangerous when the baser nature comes between the past and fell incensed points of mighty opposites.
Why, what a king this is.
Does it not? Thanks to thee, stand me now upon, he had half killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cozenage, it's not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm, and it's not to be damned, to let this canker of our nature come in further evil.
It must be shortly known to him from England. What is the issue of business there?
It will be short. The interim is mine. Of man's life no longer than to say one. But I'm very sorry, good Horatio, then that to Laertes I forgot myself. For by the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favors. But sure, the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace. Who comes?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost know this waterfly?
No, my good lord.
'Tis a show, but as I say, spacious is the possession of dirt.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use, 'tis for the head.
I thank your lordship, it is very hot.
No, believe me, 'tis very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet methinks it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord, it is very sultry. As 'twere, I cannot tell how, but my lord, his majesty bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
Oh, I beseech you, remember.
Nay, good my lord, from my knees, in good faith, sir here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of the most excellent differences,
Wow.
of very soft society, and great showing. Indeed, speak favorably of him. He is the card or calendar of gentry, for you shall find in him the continent of what part gentlemen would see.
But in the verity of extolment, I take him to be a soul of great article, and his infusion of such dearth and rareness as to make a true diction for him. His resemblance in his mirror, and what else would trace him, his umbrage, nothing more.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him.
The consonancy, sir? Why do we wrap the gentleman on our more rawer breath?
Sir?
Is it not possible to understand in another tongue? You will do it, sir, really.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Oh, Laertes.
His purse is empty already. All his golden words are spent.
Of him, sir.
You are not ignorant of what excellent Laertes is. What's his weapon? His weapon is a rapier and
That's two of his weapons, but, well...
The king, sir, hath wagered with him Barbary horses against which he has imponed, as I take it. 6 French rapiers and poniards with their assigns as girdle, hangers, and so. 3 of the carriages in faith are very dear to fancy, very responsive to the hilt, most delicate carriages of a very liberal conceit.
What calls you the carriages? What call you the carriages?
I knew you must be edified by the margin error you had done.
The carriages, sir, are the hangers.
The phrase would be more German to the matter if we could carry cannon by our side. I would it might be hangers till then. Why is this imponed, as you call it?
The king, sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9. And it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer, no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of a person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hallway. If it please his majesty, till 'tis the breathing time of day with me, let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king holds his purpose. I will win for him if I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I redeliver you even so?
To this effect, sir, after what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours. He does well to commend it himself. There are no tongues else for turn.
This whopping runs away with the shell on his head.